Just makes it look so full. I am excited that my husband's like slowly gotten me into gardening, and then I've been learning so much here because it's just interesting. There's so much I never knew.
Right.
I'm a girl from Brooklyn. What do I know about gardening?
Well, this is your chance to expand and grow.
It is, and I'm so lucky because I get to learn from experts like you and ask all the questions. So I'm very, very lucky. All right, so we've seen a lot of pink. I think there's been a great theme in this hour, and I like that because if you just love pink, I mean, you could pretty much put everything in your garden from this show and
Right,
just
you could have a whole pink garden.
A whole pink garden. Oh.
Pink containers, pink garden.
Oh, that sounds like a fantasy. I love that. So this is your 3-piece Tropical Pink Lightning SunPatiens. $27.98 is your price. This is an annual, and they bloom upon arrival. $9.33 is your easy pay, ships for free. And look at these hot pink blooms. They are absolutely stunning. And 132507, and they're shipped as 3 Tropical Pink Lightning SunPatiens live plants in a 2.5-inch pot. So this is how this is going to come to you. Wow, so we sold over 2,500.
Oh, nice.
Which is phenomenal.
They're
so
very
look,
popular.
It's already starting to grow, which is so fun.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And I think it's really cool too because it has pink stems. It has pink flowers, and then some pink highlights in the leaves, and then pink stems as well. So it's got a really beautiful pink theme going on.
And so these are heat tolerant?
They're heat tolerant and sun tolerant. Years ago, impatiens were kind of shade plants. They could only take shady conditions. These are an improvement. These plants love heat, and they love the sun, and they'll just grow like crazy. So from the little pot you're holding there, under ideal conditions, you can get this big whopper of a pot in about 2 months.
That's it?
Right, so it grows really fast. Under ideal conditions, you need to use your fertilizer, of course, because it's a container plant. You can grow it in the ground, you can use it in mixed containers, but it's a great, super easy plant. And this one's really special because it has these bright pink flowers and it's got this really interesting foliage. So it's called pink lightning, and the leaves are not just green, the edges are green, but the center of the leaf is this color like zap, like lightning has hit it, and it's really eye-catching. So even if it would not be in bloom, but it's always going to be in bloom, even if it wasn't in bloom, it would be interesting to look at.
And so this attracts pollinators as well.
It does,
right?
It attracts pollinators with these flowers, and the flowers, of course, are this beautiful hot pink color, and they are what we call self-cleaning. So some flowers, when they get old, they hang onto the plant, and they just don't fall off. So especially whites are bad, because they look like dirty tissues and you don't like that, so you have to go pick them off. These plants are self-cleaning. So when the flower gets old, it will fall off. It will just fall into the landscape and disappear, and then new flowers will form. So it's like a conveyor belt of flowers. They're beautiful flowers. They get tired, they fall off. There are buds behind there that open up, and behind those buds are more buds forming. So it's this conveyor belt of new flowers constantly coming. Wow. So it's always looking good and fresh.
Always look young and beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish our skin did that all the time.
Right? That would be nice.
We get older, but we still look young, right? Wouldn't that be nice? So you're getting 3 of these live plants shipped to you in 2.5-inch containers. These are annuals, and they're shipping for free, $9.33. I really enjoy the fact that the foliage and really everything we've seen is eye-catching as well, because there's nothing worse than when the winter comes, everything just feels so drab, everything's dead or dry. It just doesn't look nice.
Right.
You know, so I like that all year round, you still get something out of it.
Right, exactly. So, you know, you can really appreciate it when spring comes and the plants start emerging and having leaves again. So yeah, totally.
By the way, there's auto delivery on this as well. Danny, can you tell me how 2 shipments, both with free shipping, 1 now, and 1 in spring of 2026, which is great.
So you can order ahead.
You can order ahead, that locks in the free shipping, and then you just don't have to worry. You don't have to think about it next year. So there's the information on the left side of your screen, and 132507. I'm amazed that this little guy right here bloomed into that. Now, would it get even bigger? I mean, that's in a container, so assuming that it's staying kind of
It's in a
contained.
container. No, it stops about 2.5 feet tall, so it gets about 2.5 feet tall and stops there, and it gets about 1.5 feet wide. So it does have its limits, but it's self-branching, which means it has this really nice round growth habit. A lot of plants, to get this nice round growth habit, you'd have to get a little scissors and trim them to get this nice shape, but this just has this nice shape naturally. So it blooms pretty much from the time you get it up until the frost. I've seen them growing in Florida in the middle of December because there was no frost down in Orlando, and they looked great in the middle of December. So until they get hit by a frost, they're just going to keep going. Now they do need a lot of water, so have a hose handy or a watering can handy, and they suck up the water. And but they are forgiving. So if you miss a watering and you come around the corner and they're flat on the ground, you know, like those lawn ornaments that blow up with air and dance.
Yeah.
And then when they don't have the air, they fall down. Yeah. They could look like that, but water them and they'll come back up. So they'll bounce back up.
Oh, wow.
They're really resilient, and the flower buds stay viable and they will bloom.
Now, how often do you have to water these?
It depends. I mean, if it's raining in the ground, you don't have to water them often at all,
Okay.
just during dry periods. But if you do grow them in a container, you need to water them probably every other day, every other day.
Okay.
And I do typically grow one in a container on my deck every year, and you know, just for color, and it does great. And it won't get this big if you plant it with other plants. They kind of fight it out, and they kind of manage everybody's size, so they kind of all stay the same size. Or if it gets to be a bully, you can just pinch it a little bit and keep it in its little side of the pot. You can be the referee.
I love that. You know, this is something that I want to start doing with my daughter. My husband and I, we've been taking her out. She's been weeding with us.
Oh, good, good.
She goes, Mama, help. I'm like, yeah, there's a ton of weeds right there, honey. So I just love this too, you know, thinking about doing this with the grandkids.
Oh, yeah,
doing
yeah.
it with the kids, you know, teaching them young and then having something to look at and enjoy. And I think this has such a beautiful display.
Right.
And the fact that it's rounded like that, I can't tell you how many times my husband's had to go out with the shears and trim.
Right, to
and
keep it like this would take a lot of shearing for other plants.
love it. So it's just minimal upkeep. This is an annual. It's the Tropical Pink Lightning SunPatient. You're getting 3 shipped to you in these 2.5-inch pots. $27.98 is your price. You can put this on auto delivery, so get it now, and then you will also get it next year for spring 2026. 800-500-7590 is a number to call. You can ask them about that auto delivery. If you're ordering on .com, there will be an option there as well. So we just saw our daylilies a few moments ago. Over 100